Cable installation. Drilling holes. The cable can be routed through any drilled hole, but certain rules of the NEC and other building codes apply. Holes for routing cables through wall studs can be drilled at any horizontal stud height, but are typically located approximately 30 inches to 40 inches above the floor in each stud along the wall if needed. Side view, wider, of 2 by 4 stud and details of drilled holes. The drilled hole should be no larger than 7/8 inch. Usual drill bit size can be smaller but not less than 1/2 inch. The edge of the hole should be no closer than 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the stud. Drilled hole. 1. 16-inch thick steel nail plate. If the edge of the hole is less than 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the stud, secure the hole with a 1. 16-inch thick steel nail plate of the appropriate length. For holes greater than 7/8 inch in diameter, a steel plate must be used on both sides of the stud. Cable protection with a nail plate. If necessary, multiple holes can be drilled according to hole drilling rules. In wider studs, the hole may be larger. Any stud can be drilled or bored no more than 60% of the width of the stud. The hole is no closer than 5/8 inch from the edge of the stud, and the hole is not in the same section as a notch or cut. The cable must be protected by a steel plate if the edge of the hole is less than 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the stud. Stud in any external or load-bearing wall may be notched, but not deeper than 25% of the width of the stud. The cutout with the cable must be protected with a steel plate. The cutout must not be in the same place where the hole is drilled. For the top and bottom plates, the same drilling rules apply as for studs. The top plate of the stud wall. Holes may be drilled in joists no larger than 1/3 of joist width, and at least 2 inches from the top and bottom of the joist to the edge of the hole. For multiple holes, the distance between the holes must be 2 times the diameter of the larger hole. The hole can be drilled at least 1 inch from the end of the joists to the edge of the hole. Holes, openings in joists, beams. When routing cables through metal posts, a snap-in sleeve must be used in each post. Installing cables. All cables must be installed and supported in a neat and professional manner so that the cable is not damaged during normal use of the building. Cables installed and run over beams, through studs and in horizontal chases are usually naturally supported. NM, non-metallic sheathed cable, Romex cable. Non-metallic sheathed, NM Romex, cable shall be supported and secured with staples, cable ties, straps, hangers or similar hardware and installed in such a way as not to damage the cable. Approved supports, listed, for NM cable. Staples, cable stackers, cable ties, etc. Requirements for installation and support NM non-metallic sheathed cable, Romex cable. The distance between the supports shall not exceed 4.5 feet. The support from the enclosures, outlet box, shall not exceed 12 inches. After the cable enters the outlet box, the cable must be approximately 12 to 18 inches long after entering the junction box for splicing, cable connection. If staples are used as cable supports, The staples must be approved to support NM cables. The NM cable must be stapled on a flat surface, not on the edge. Do not drive the staples too hard into the cables. Staples should be drive tight enough to hold the cable in place, but not so tight as to pinch and damage the cable. Driving the staple too hard can damage the cable. Do not drive the staple over the staple during the stapling another cable in same place. The staple must contact the cable with its flat surface, not a sharp edge. The cable must not be stapled closer than 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the stud. No more than 2 cables can be stapled with the same staple. Do not damage the cable when removing the staple. If it is not possible to staple the cable, too narrow space, a cable tie or other way of supporting the cable should be used. The low-voltage cable must not occupy the same cable hole as the power cable, it must be run in a separate drilled hole. Cable stackers. The edge of the cable stapled in the center of the 2 by 4 inches stud must be 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the post. Otherwise use hangers, stackers, etc. to support this cable. If there are more than 2 cables running along a 2 by 4 inches stud, use cable stackers, etc. to keep the cables away from the stud. 7/8 inch hole for cable. Up to 3, 12 or 14 AWG, NM cables per drilled 7/8 inch hole in the 2 by 4 inches stud. Steel cable protection plate, nail plate. Use a nail plate to protect the cable if necessary. Installation of wiring in the bedroom from Example 1. Cable routing. Example 1 plan. Duplex receptacles. Switchable center light outlet. Smoke detector in the bedroom. Carbon monoxide and smoke detector near the sleeping area. For better understanding, this plan will be converted and show the location of junction boxes to show the installation of cables between these boxes. Bedroom plan after conversion to show the location of the junction boxes. 14, 2 and 14, 3 nm non-metallic, Romex, sheathed cable will be used for bedroom electrical wiring. The bedroom does not need to be wired with thicker cable than required by the NEC standard. A larger cable takes up more space in junction boxes and is more difficult to splice and connect to electrical devices. It creates costs, not benefits. Do not mix wire sizes in one circuit. According to NEC Code of 14.2, a 15 amps cable must be protected by a 15 amps circuit breaker unless, with exceptions in the code, it is only used for motor load. The 14.2 cable contains bare, white, and black wire. The 14.3 cable contains bare, white, black and red wire. The entire room, including smoke detectors, can be wired and powered from the same circuit if there is no wired, interconnected, fire alarm system in the home. In a house that already has a wired, interconnected, Fire alarm system. The smoke detector and carbon monoxide smoke detector must be connected, wired, to the system. The National Electrical Code does not require a specific number of electrical outlets on a single circuit, but virtually homes have 10 to 15 outlets on a single circuit. Use 14.2 cable to install as power, feeder, cable and cable between junction boxes. Route the power, feeder, cable to any of the installed junction boxes. The power cable can be run directly from the panel board. Best option, a junction box, switch, outlet, with the same cable gauge in another room, or if the power cable that previously powered this bedroom was left after gutting the room. In this example, the power cable is routed to a receptacle outlet box near the door. Power, feeder, cable from panel board, junction box elsewhere, or left if the room has been gutted. Route the cable from point to point, best chosen during installation, until all electrical boxes are connected together. As an example, the cable is routed as follows. To the next receptacle outlet box. And next. And next. And next. And next. And to the switch box. If the house does not have a wired, interconnected, alarm system, the alarm detectors will be powered from the same circuit as the entire bedroom. Install the 14.3 nm Romex cable between the smoke detector junction box and the carbon monoxide smoke detector junction box. If your home has a wired, interconnected, fire alarm system, do not run a cable from the switch or receptacle junction box to the fire alarm smoke detector junction box. Instead of powering the smoke detector from the room, install a Romex 14.3 nm cable, or the same size cable as the existing fire alarm system, from any existing fire detector junction box to one of the new detector junction boxes. Cable from the house's interconnected fire protection system. Install the 14.3 nm Romex cable, or the same size cable as the existing fire alarm system, between the smoke detector junction box and the carbon monoxide smoke detector junction box. Run the cable between the switch box and the light outlet box. It can be a 14.2 or 14.3 cable. The ceiling light junction box must already be fan ready, so to be able to control the fan and lights with a separate switch, double switch, without the fan remote, a 14.3 cable, not required, for future fan installation is the best solution. This bedroom will have a light fixture in the middle of the room, so a 14.2 cable is installed. When installing cables, the volume of the junction boxes must be taken into account. The wiring can be started from any junction box installed in this room. The cable must be long enough to be spliced, connected, inside the box. It should be 12 to 18 inches long when it enters the junction box. If necessary, protect the cable with a nail plate. The sheath, jacket, of the cable should protrude beyond the entrance to the enclosure, electrical box, not less than 1/4 inch. Do not overfill junction boxes with cable with a cable sheath. The cable sheath not removed takes up space in the junction box that may be needed for splicing and device installation. To avoid electric shock and tripping of the circuit breaker, make sure that the insulation of the wires, conductors, is not damaged. Cut with a knife when removing the insulation from the wires.